Crom dwells on a great mountain. What use to call on him? Little does he care if men live or die. Better to be silent than to call his attention to you. He will send you dooms, not fortune. He is grim and loveless, but at birth he breathes power to strive and slay into a man's soul. What else shall men ask of the gods? This is how Conan of Cimmeria describes his god Crom in Queen of the Black Coast by Robert E. Howard. And there is no question that he possesses both qualities, even though he himself, unlike his Cimmerian compatriots, is possessed of a natural curiosity and wanderlust that is atypical of the reclusive and brooding nature of the Cimmerian tribes. Without a doubt, Conan's upbringing was unusual. His father, Coran, worked as a village blacksmith. Tragically, during a battle in Cimmeria, Conan's mother Gretchen was mortally wounded while trying to save her husband. Despite her weakened state, she summoned her last bit of strength to give birth to Conan before passing away, cutting the child out of her uterus with her own sword. Conan grew up rapidly, and by the age of 14, he had already gained respect as a warrior. He played a critical role in the destruction of Venarium, an outpost of Aquilonian forces at the border of Cimmeria at the mere age of 14. In Robert E. Howard's stories, the Siege of Venarium is only briefly mentioned without many specific details. However, other authors have provided their interpretations of the battle in works like Barbarians at the Gate and Conan of Venarium, where an army from Aquilonia, led by Count Sturcus, crosses the border into southern Cimmeria and invades the region. Sturcus, although skilled in warfare, has fallen out of favor with King Numedides due to his inappropriate behavior involving young individuals back in Aquilonia. As a form of punishment, he has been banished to the frontier. News of the invasion spreads throughout Cimmeria as the army advances northward, constructing forts each night during their encampments. Eventually, Sturcus decides to halt their progress after reaching the last fort named Venarium. In a village called Duthil, located north of Venarium and approximately a day's journey on foot, resides the then 12-year-old Conan. News of the invasion soon reaches his settlement, and the village elders devise a plan to spread the word to other villages. Soon enough, men from several clans gather to defend against the invading Aquilonians. Conan's father prepares himself to join them, but clashes with Conan over the latter's insistence on participating in the battle. The clans surround Venarium and launch a fierce attack, but are ultimately scattered by an unexpected charge from the infamous Aquilonian cavalry, just as they are about to breach the fort's gate. The Cimmerians retreat, with many being killed by the pursuing Aquilonians. Some men from Duthil survive the battle but sustain various injuries. Conan's father, one of the last Cimmerians to leave the battlefield, is the final villager from Duthil to return home. He and his clansmen reluctantly accept their current status as conquered subjects of Aquilonia. We witness Conan's coming of age as he navigates the challenges imposed by his youth, family situation, and his deep animosity towards the occupying soldiers and Aquilonian settlers. The occupation persists for approximately 2 years. During that summer, 40 Cimmerian clans rise up against the invaders, launching a devastating assault that sweeps southward. They completely obliterate Venarium, forcing the remaining settlers and remnants of the defeated Aquilonian army to flee into Bosonia. Some Cimmerians even cross into Bosonia to deliver a harsh lesson to the Aquilonians, ensuring they never consider another invasion. Multiple groups venture further south into Bosonia, conducting raids into Gunderland. Conan himself leads a raiding party that ventures deep enough into Aquilonia itself, but is ultimately decimated, leaving only Conan as the sole survivor. This experience ignited his desire for adventure, and he embarked on a series of thrilling escapades chronicled by Howard and other authors. His travels took him across the world, where he assumed various roles such as a thief, outlaw, mercenary, and even commander of a mercenary company. Conan also ventured into piracy. As he aimed for greater territorial ambitions and built larger armies, his efforts were repeatedly thwarted, with his forces being mercilessly massacred, leaving only him surviving. The outcome of the battle, where barbarians overcome a more technologically advanced imperial force, may draw inspiration from historical events such as the German rebellion against the Roman Empire at the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest in 9 CE. It's important to note that these depictions and connections are based on fictional elements and creative interpretations by various authors within the Conan universe.